Swadharma is Shreyas and Paradharma is Bhayavaham, which means Swadharma causes well-being, while Paradharma is horrifying, says Sri Krishna in the Gita to Arjuna, who is completely confused about his life's purpose ahead of the war. What is Swadharma? Swadharma is to discover and live your own unique purpose on earth. Paradharma is to simply hold on to a purpose that is not true to your nature. Let's go into this today. What is purpose? Why should we have a purpose? And how do we discover our own purpose, our own unique purpose or Swadharma? For to discover a purpose and to live it is great fulfillment and adventure. Namaste. There are three important questions every human being should answer around the issue of purpose. Why should I have a purpose? What is my purpose in life? How do I discover my purpose? Remember the secret for a great destiny. Firstly, you must discover your own purpose. Having discovered it, hold on to it steadfastly and live it from a beautiful state of consciousness. Don't give up your purpose. Then your life will open up to incredible synchronicities, pushing you towards a great destiny. Now, what are synchronicities? We see the universe not as blocks of matter, but as patterns of energy. And when we speak of synchronicities, we see that these are meaningful, harmonious occurrences that somehow are either aligned towards your heart's intention or are aligned towards the greater well-being of life. Such synchronicities have happened to people throughout history. We think they are random occurrences, but they are not. It is possible for these random coincidences to become frequent occurrences in your life. We have for several years now studied and intuited the science of synchronicities. Thousands of our followers regularly manifest synchronicities, both on a massive scale and in their daily experiences. They feel their life has a magical quality to it. They get in touch with the right people they were looking for and land in their dream opportunities. They come upon right information they were looking for, and with that information, create a difference to others. They receive the right message from the universe at the right time when they're actually questing for an answer. This takes away their inner struggle and leads them to peace. And these synchronicities can happen to you if you lived in a beautiful state, free of inner stress, and if you held on to your own purpose, no matter what challenges surround you. Remember, your purpose can be unique, exotic, and special, like saving the rainforests in northeastern India, or can be very simple and straightforward, like bringing up your child into a joyful and courageous human being. Whatever your purpose is, it has to be your personal discovery. Do you get it? How many of you feel your life today is too challenging and your struggle is unbearable? This journey I am going to lead you into will surely be your first and major step towards opening up to a life of grace. So flow with me till the end. There is a major distinction I would like you to understand with the issue of purpose. Oftentimes people assume purpose is only for one's career. Well, if you are a more conscious human being, you assume purpose is about just contribution. If you were a spiritual seeker, you assume purpose is about unconditional love or enlightenment. Is this perception true? There has to be a purpose for every aspect of life. There has to be a purpose for the entirety of life. Let me ask, do you have a purpose for why you are in a relationship with your partner? Is it simply to escape loneliness and to have some pleasure and security? Or is there a greater purpose? Have you ever asked why you are in it? Do you have a purpose for why you have children? What is the reason you wanted to bring them into this world? Do you have a purpose for why you are working? These questions may be scary to ask because there is every possibility that you have no answers or the answers are weak. But it is only when you ask them that you truly begin a process of self discovery. It is only when you ask them that the possibility of a beautiful life, a meaningful life opens up for you. If not for a clear purpose, you perhaps wake up every day at the same time, have the same breakfast, kiss the same byes to loved ones, drive to work along the same route, meet the same people, go to the same weekend parties, have almost same conversations with family, hit the gym, watch Netflix or news, and go to bed. There is perhaps a semblance of external order in doing all this over and over again, week after week, while internally, the truth is, it is all chaos. Internally, you are troubled with persistent questions like, why does life feel so boring and mechanical? I don't even want to get out of bed. Why am I in this relationship where we are so frequently misunderstanding each other? Why do I feel next to nothing for my partner even on our special occasions, most special days? Why should I go through this thankless duty of being a parent when I receive no gratitude whatsoever for all the sacrifices I make? Why am I doing this job? Why does life feel so monotonous and boring? Is this what I see myself doing and being for another 5 years, or 10 years, or 15 years, or 25 years? If the why questions have begun to torment you, it is a sign that your purpose is shaking. That is why the urge to quit the relationship, to quit your job, to quit the town or city, sometimes to quit life itself. And this crisis in purpose not only happens to those who are struggling to make it big in life, it also happens to those who consider themselves successful. Let me share with you a real life story of a young and successful manager. This man had risen to a very high managerial position by the time he was 32. On the first day of his spiritual journey at Ekam, he argued, why is it important to connect as a human being or to another human being? I can connect to this table here, my favorite car, my personal skills and abilities. Why should I depend on a human being who is likely to change any time? I only rely on myself, my capabilities, and things I love. Later in the day, he mentioned that he had come to Ekam because he was feeling lost in life. He woke up most days with questions like, what is the point of putting my energy and creativity into this organization anymore? Why am I doing all this? And for whose sake? He felt that his team that he had nurtured for a long time did not need him anymore. As he journeyed inward, he realized that his emotional hurts and disappointments had made him into a reactive person who wanted to quit anything the moment he felt insulted or unwanted. He saw that throughout his life, he had held on to disappointments with people and inwardly disconnected from them. And now he was at a critical point in life. He had the choice of making either his emotional hurt important or the team with whom he had bonded over many years important. As he made the choice of letting go of his anger and his emotional hurt, a new vista opened up to him. His perception of himself and his life began to change. He who had seen himself as a self made person could no more see himself that way. He began to recognize and think about the numerous people who played a role in his rise. He began to reflect on how his team still supports him through numerous small and big acts. As his consciousness expanded, he began to experience connection with them. A deep desire to see his team and his organization happier began to take root in him. 6 months after he had completed his course in India, he said, I have rediscovered my lost sense of purpose. Going to work and growing in it is my joy. It is like my brain has entered a space of creativity. Synchronicities around me are happening. You could still ask, but why should I make this change now? To the way I relate or connect to the people around me after all these years. Is it really necessary? If you are interested in this world to become a better place, we need to work towards creating individuals who are connected. In them is the hope for emergence of wiser systems, greater societies, kinder technologies, and peaceful families. I want you to ask yourselves 3 questions today on your quest for purpose. First question: what happens if you don't discover a purpose and don't ever live it? Do you want to know? Possibility 1: without a purpose, you lose passion. You may have great gifts and talents, but without a purpose, you would not find the courage to manifest your potential. You may have commenced your relationship from true love, but without a purpose, love disappears in the face of challenges, leaving you inwardly dry and lonely. Possibility 2: without a purpose, you drive your career from a space of inner lack. You push yourself to achieve and to make money out of fear of becoming a nobody in the eyes of your loved ones. You desperately want to matter. You desperately want them to respect you. You want to prove to your mother, your father, your partner, or to someone who may not even care for you. Or you push yourself to success out of comparison and anger. You fuel yourself by continuously projecting an enemy. You are in a constant state of battle. You are frustrated and burn out. Possibility 3: you live trying to practice an ideal such as honesty, unconditional love, perfection, and generosity. Sounds like a noble option, isn't it? Not really. Imagine the effort it would take to practice honesty and generosity without actually being in a fearless state within. Imagine trying to practice unconditional love while the mind is hanging on to past hurts and disappointments. You will eventually become tired, unable to practice the ideal under life's innumerable challenges. What is a purpose? Why should I have a purpose? How do I go about discovering a purpose? What will change about my life if I begin to live with a purpose? These are the 4 important questions we are exploring this weekend. Namaste. A purpose is the answer to the question, why? Why should I work so hard? Why should I put up with all the nonsense of people around me? Why should I keep finding solutions even when the going becomes very tough instead of quitting? Discovering the purpose and walking the path to fulfill it is the answer to all these questions, whether at an individual level or at community level. Why should you have a purpose? I have seen organizations at various levels, as couples, as families, as institutions, as movements, and as nations. As a leader, I recognize the value of progressive systems and intelligent systems. But no matter what kind of systems you create, what kind of rules you enforce, so long as the consciousness of the individuals that constitute the system does not transform, the system can never attain its vision. An untransformed, frustrated mindset will any day overpower the most efficient external system. That is why a focus on transformation is a must for any leader seeking to create an extraordinary impact on the world. This we have already seen yesterday. Let us now ask the second question. How do we discover a purpose? Conventionally, you are given either of the two advices. The first advice: you scan what fascinates you, somehow settle upon any one option that looks most feasible, make that your purpose, and go on working hard at it. The second advice: you check on what you're good at, decide to make that your purpose, and try to love it for the rest of your life. Or if you don't want to follow either of the two, you become like children who choose the catcher in a game by singing "Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo" and choosing wherever the song ends. You also choose your future path like that, not with conscious attention, but allowing life to take you wherever it does. You're terrified of making a choice. Well, here is the truth. True greatness is not achieved through a purpose that is contrived, nor does true greatness land like a windfall. Imagine a Gandhi, a Shivaji, an Einstein, a Picasso going through either of these methods. It would be ridiculous, isn't it? Let me share an important secret with you. Every true leader in any field only discovered purpose when they moved into an expanded, enlightened state of connection. They did not discover from an ordinary, stressed out, self centered state of mind. The discovery of purpose is a single step journey. Remember this. Only when you radically break free of your limited preoccupation with yourself and awaken to a state of connection, you will find your purpose. Your purpose becomes unveiled to you, and that is your swadharma. So, what is connection? Connection is gratitude. It is an awareness that we are the result of innumerable efforts of people we know and we may never know. Gratitude is an inner awareness that without you, I would not be where I am. Without you, I would not be who I am. Without you, I would not have the beautiful moments I have today. Your gratitude wants you to do something in return for them. Your gratitude wants you to make life beautiful to others the way it was made for you. Pause for a moment and think. Who in your life contributed to your life becoming more beautiful? Your mother? Your father? A friend? Your spouse? Your children? Who is it? Do you feel grateful for their presence in your life? Connection is compassion. It is an awareness of the oneness of human experience. Compassion is not sympathy. It is actually throbbing of the heart when you see someone in suffering. And your compassion moves you to make a difference. Does your heart feel for the pain of the world around you? Connection is inclusivity. It is taking into consideration your own well being along with the other. You care for the joy, for the comfort, for the progress of the others the way you care for yourself. In your decision making, do you consider the well being of others also, or is it only about you? Connection is sensitivity. You feel the happiness of another as if it were your own and celebrate it with them. You also feel the unhappiness of the other as if it were your own and rise up to make a difference. This is the essence of love, beyond all romance and attachments. These are not ideals, these are actual states of consciousness. When you awaken to these beautiful states of being, these states will make you look at the world differently. When you awaken to any of these expanded states of connection, you spontaneously tune into the problems of people around you. You awaken to the crisis of Mother Earth or any living beings around you. You actually see what they need and use your learning to fulfill that need. And that becomes your purpose. For example, there is an Indian scientist who lives in the Himalayas, whose name is Mr. Wangdu. This guy over the years has been observing that the Himalayan glaciers have been melting. He is a scientist and he wanted to solve the problem. And what did he do? He realized that glaciers can form anywhere in the Himalayan mountains if you supported it with a structure around which ice can form. So throughout the Himalayas, this guy has been planting iron rods and ice has been forming around it, forming glaciers. So he's using his intelligence to solve Earth's problems because he loves the Earth. The career path born of such a state of connection becomes your unique purpose or swadharma. Sometimes this expanded state of connection awakens you to the beauty of life, and your purpose then becomes to celebrate existence itself. Take the example of Claude Monet, the celebrated French artist. Monet had a very enlightened connection with nature. His awareness of the beauty of nature was such that when he looked at a thing any number of times, he felt he was seeing it for the first time. Claude Monet is an artist who painted a simple bridge on a lily pond. He did not paint it once, he painted it 17 times in 1 year from different angles at different times of the day. Because he was filled with a passion to awaken the world to the beauty of nature, each of these paintings is a masterpiece. Now, let me share yet another secret with you. When you awaken to a state of connection, even an ordinary person flowers into an extraordinary person. It is sad that the majority remain ordinary. They believe they're ordinary and pass away as ordinary people who struggled all their life trying to make ends meet because they never awakened to the power of the beautiful state of connection. But when you awaken to a beautiful state of connection, gifts and genius you never knew that you had within will rise to the surface. Trust me, every one of you is endowed with a gift by nature, and those gifts can only come to surface from a state of connection. And with those gifts, you then become capable of sustained passion and love. Let us now address the final question. What happens when you discover your purpose? You enter a different realm. You become part of the magical flow of life where synchronicities unfold. Ideas, contacts, people you never expected will begin to flow into your lives. You become capable of sustained innovation and creativity. And the greatest of them, you are no more on the run from life. Your heart is awake to the richness of it. You are present. You celebrate life. The quest ends and living begins. Good actions and good thoughts, bad actions and bad thoughts. These are things that are taught to you by your parents, by your school, everywhere, by your religion. Spirituality is not religion. Okay, spirituality is a journey that you take inward. Spirituality is about your inner awakening. Spirituality is about living in that awakened state. So for me and for Preethaji, we do not teach, think this, do this, don't think this. Because even if I teach you, you will not do it. Religion has been teaching you for thousands of years. Do you follow everything? No. Your parents have been teaching you. You don't follow. You teach your children. Does your children listen to you? No, right? Nobody's children listens. That is why awakening to a state is important. Right now you are thinking you'll be happy if you find your partner, right partner in life. If I have $10 million, if I become a president, vice president, or a CEO of a company, I must have a nice house, nice car, everything nice. Then I'll be happy. Then I will look at enlightenment. But in the law of consciousness, you have to first find happiness. You have to first become joyful. You have to become enlightened. If you become enlightened and joyful, then your success, your abundance, your wealth, your health, your relationship, everything happens. Everything comes. It is like success is at your feet.
That is why you are all struggling so much to find joy and love in your life, to find peace in your life. Because you are in the wrong direction. You are thinking that let me get everything proper in my life, then I'll become happy. No. First become joyful, then everything will become proper in your life. You have to first become peaceful, attain enlightenment, then everything else follows in life automatically. Otherwise, the hungry mind is constantly struggling and wanting, and this hungry mind can never be appeased. How much ever you have. I have students who run $15 billion companies, and they sit in front of me and they say, Krishnaji, we want to be with you. I don't want to go back home. I am not happy. I am not happy. My family is not happy. Nobody's happy. I want to find happiness. Understand that you have to find happiness so that your life becomes meaningful. Everything in your life must become meaningful. If it becomes meaningful, then your life will become joyful. Your work must become meaningful. Your family must become meaningful. Your friends must become meaningful. Everything that you do must become meaningful. If it becomes meaningful, everything will be joyful. And if it has to become meaningful, you have to become enlightened.